Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. And here we are. So it actually has been the longest delay for a little while now, actually. Just one second to turn the music off here. Indeed, yeah. It has been a couple days. We've made some really, really good progress in the last couple of weeks. It's been quite incredible, to be honest. But probably decent timing. It's fairly impressive, actually. From Friday night into Saturday night, I just had a massive cold. So, mostly over that, which is actually really good timing. So here we are. Hello there, no name, Abaddon, and SCT, how you doing, my friends? So indeed, we will be getting started shortly. We'll just obviously have the normal wait that we normally do. Let people get in here, which would be cool. So we did have some really interesting results last turn. I think really what we see in this turn is going to decide how we approach the Fiji situation. Now, ideally I'd like to see the actual cruiser task force of the Allies continuing north towards Baker Island. That would be probably the best thing I could ask for. Now we do have some options. We also have some enemy ships obviously by survive, but we are, well, I'm going to imagine are going to be bombarded in this turn. Now we will have 2 submarines actually task that area. Ideally we do score some hits. We do of course have our submarines outside of Fiji. It does look he's, well, looks like he's definitely reinforcing that area. What would who would win, HMS Dreadnought or Yamato? Yeah, Dreadnought. I'm just curious how you're getting your turn out before THG gets his last one out. Well, he sent me the actual turn. How it basically works is the Japanese player is player number 1. So basically, I start the game off. So I'll actually have the actual save here. So obviously what happens is I do everything on my part. Save the game, send it on to him. Then from the turn 2, when I get it back, I then send him the actual battle report. And that's how that works. Hello there, Lupus, Gabriel, Anno. How you guys doing? Rainbow Slash as well? Pretty awesome. Hello there, AT. Yeah, only 2 minutes ago. Probably pretty good though. Just getting back into things. Had a bit of a cold over the weekend, so I'm still a bit meh. But this is going to be a lot of fun. So we were just talking about he doesn't have his last turn out. Well, he might be just waiting, to be fair. Well, I don't know if he's waiting. I suppose it might just be taking some time to actually upload. To be fair, we've never coordinated on that front, so he'll be out when it's out. To be fair, I don't really get a chance to watch it, so I can't tell you when they're normally out. Hello there, Mr. AMMW. Strange name, but I like it. Okay. So it's going to be quite an eventful turn. I like it. Speaking of Singapore, we'll take that. Yeah, I'd imagine so. It seems as though THG has definitely anticipated something of a sweep move over Singapore, so that'll be interesting. I mean, we are going to be sweeping with the A6M2 in fairly large numbers, so we'll just see how well he likes that, because, yeah, before this point he has only been seeing the Ki-43 1Bs, which is significantly different to the A6M2. Of course, we have used A6M2s, but not in such numbers, so this is going to be rather interesting. Who's watching Man City versus Arsenal game? To be honest, I'm not a fan of football. I mean, I like football, but I never really watch football. At all. Ever. Maybe the World Cup, so I don't even know they're playing. But how you doing there, Facehugger? Hello there, Taco Man. Apologies about the bit of cold. Ooh, this is going to be exciting. Right, so Masbate. That's good. Right, Vi. Definitely still seeing activity there. Task Force 4, was that reacting? Really curious to see how this turn goes. Definitely curious. Task Force 338. Now, I do find that interesting. Which one would that be? 195 has merged. Hello there, Diligent. Resuming course to survive. Could that be referring to our submarines? Ooh. Now that was some luck there. But that's very interesting to see that he still has activity around Midway. Honestly, did not expect him to have activity around there. But at least we're aware now of Plunger being in the actual vicinity, and Awata Maru actually did make it without a hit, so that was some very nice luck. It is going to make it a little bit more difficult to actually retreat, well, to actually pull any forces out there. Right. Wow. That is some incredible luck. Jesus Christ. Did she just really survive 8 torpedoes? That is... I'm just pretty shocked, pretty happy about that one. I suppose that is going to repay the fact... I suppose this is karma from us actually missing the... What was it now? The President College or something like that college? I can't remember the name of the actual transport that we missed on 2 occasions. So I'll take that. I'll take that as a bit of good karma that has come back there. So the Awata Maru actually does survive. Yeah. American torpedoes, but still torpedoes hurt. And the good news is that's actually used some of the ammunition better Plunger, so he's not going to be able to stay there as long as he would like. Right, here we are, we're moving into Brunei and Miri. Okay, I don't think we'll see too much in the way of actual defences here. 6 coastal guns. Yeah. Hello there, Michael, by the way. Okay, so we are seeing enemy troops off of Brunei. I do hope we've sent enough to actually take the island, well, to take the base. If not, we can always divert reinforcements pretty easily. Right, we are hitting Ocean Island. I'm glad this has actually happened during the night as well. Oh, so there's actually troops... Hello there, Marsala. I didn't actually expect that to be... It's rather strange. I thought we'd run reconnaissance at Ocean Island. We'll hope that we have the same luck there, otherwise that is going to be a little bit awkward. We do have troops nearby. I'm sure we ran reconnaissance over Ocean Island. We must not pick them up, which I'm actually fairly surprised about. Well, we'll see how the result turns out. We can always reinforce the island invasion, if necessary. Okay, torpedo misses. This is Sea Raven. We are seeing near misses here, which is actually decent. Ideally a little bit of damage, but it seems we're not going to inflict any. Yet Escort abandons the search there. Indeed, Ocean Island. Hello there, Rez. How you doing, my friend? This early in the war, for the older American subs. Yeah, the older American subs, I think... I'm not entirely sure about the British ones. Probably British ones as well. But definitely Dutch submarines. They are quite dangerous. 2 allied ships down here. Interesting. Supposedly cruiser miler. 2 allied ships there. 6 allied ships. Now that is interesting. That's actually to the south of Tarawa. Yeah, there's a force there at Ocean Island. Hopefully it's one that we can actually take. I don't think it'll be much of a garrison. I am definitely hoping it's not much of a garrison. Allied submarine there. 4 allied ships outside of Suva. 2 allied ships. 2 allied ships there. Suva. Another 2 allied ships. Allied transport, 2 allied ships, 2 allied ships near Pearl Harbor, 2, 3. We've seen a lot of activity here. Catalina. Okay, yeah, there's heavy amounts of activity here. That's a shame, so we don't see any G4s at the moment. Wow. That is a lot of fighters. Yeah. So I see... It seems we're going to see quite a heavy amount of fighting over Singapore here. Pretty glad I didn't actually send the bombers this turn, otherwise that could have been rather interesting. We'll just have to see how we go on here. Ideally we do have superior pilots, but I am a little bit worried about these numbers. But we'll see what we can manage here. We will see A6M2 flying out here to support as well in the turns to come, so that would be quite nice. But this could actually work out quite well for us. Maybe. Yeah, combat air patrol trap. Never not winning. We'll see how we do. We'll see how we do. Yes, indeed. Okay. Though in fairness, our planes aren't too bad here. The pilots are decent enough, so ideally we can inflict some losses upon them. Aye. Buffalo spins away on fire. Indeed, this will be like the Battle of Britain. Thankfully, we will have additional A6M2 to come in here in ideally large numbers. Yeah, the 1A. Hello there, Justin. True, but in all honesty, the 1A is the model we'll be replacing. It's the pilots I care more about, but I think we'll actually be able to inflict some good casualties upon the Allied forces here. We will see additional swoops coming out here to Singapore, but this is actually quite important, because once we actually do start damaging a number of these fighters, that is going to mean that there are less fighters available to defend Singapore. And once we do start bombing the actual airfields here... Okay, so that's one down. True, but we don't have much in the way of options. We have to take his fighters. I suppose we should have expected it from him naming the actual save after the sweep over Singapore. But we'll see how we go on here. It's not too far away from their actual bases. Yeah, only the 7.7s. They're not too particularly spectacular. Okay, so what we're going to do here is actually speed up the results and see how we do. Yeah, it's quite a few losses, but they're not necessarily destroyed. Okay, so in all of that, only 2 Oscars destroyed. We probably inflicted quite a bit of damage upon his forces. We probably sustained some damage to our own Oscars, but not the sort of results he would have wanted here. I mean, you take a look at this, 26H, 81 A3s, 45 Buffaloes. There's not too many dangerous aircraft here. Not too many dangerous ones. The P-40Es are maybe the most dangerous, as long as the, well, as well as the H-81s maybe. Yeah, we'd love to have the 1Cs. We might actually take a look at moving the 1Cs here. Better to fight his fighters here than in China. Possibly so. Right, look at that. That is 50 A6M2 Now we might actually see some heavy losses here on the enemy. That is the most zeros he's ever seen. And these are the bad boys with the actual firepower, so let's see what we can manage here. We do have the maneuverability, we ideally have the altitude. Let's see if we can inflict some losses here. Yep, if he's moved the Flying Tigers out of China, that could give us an option actually to use our bombers again. Yep, I think we're actually going to inflict some damage here. Yeah, 50 zeros, that is a lot of zeros. P-40 down. Additional 0 arriving there, was it? No, I think we're behind. Yep, number P-40 Warhawk down. I think this might actually backfire on him, because we've only lost 2 Oscars, but if we actually inflict some heavy losses here with our A6M2 this could actually escalate the Battle of Singapore and really potentially aid us. Yep, P-40 damaged. Firing from behind, aborts due to damage. Dive in here. Yep, Spanish Palace and 2 20mm cannons. Yeah, we definitely got the altitude. See, this is it. We're getting behind these actual fighters, which is incredibly important. I need them to arrive. We are supposedly going to have 50 of them join battle, but It's a shame that they're not going to all arrive at once, but we've had additional 4 zeros join the battle. But we're already inflicted some damage here upon the Allied forces, which is very good news. I mean, ideally we inflict enough damage to actually suppress his combat air patrol in the following turns. We can keep up this sort of pressure. We do definitely have superior fighters and in numbers in Malaya. True, he's seen more at Pearl. But the thing is, Pearl was Kitabutai. He's never seen this many zeros from land-based attacks, I would say. Yeah, fair enough, we'll speed this up, see how we're going. Numbers increasing there. We might have lost a 0 or 2. But it looks like he's lost quite a few himself. And let's see how that turned out then. So 50 A6M2 zeros. We do lose one of them. Wow. Yeah, look at that. Okay, now that's quite nice. So we can see there 3 H81A3s destroyed, 8 Buffaloes destroyed, 2 CW21B Demons destroyed, 1 P40B Warhawk, 1 P40E Warhawk. Now of course these aren't even the true numbers, we may have destroyed even more here. But I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if that was actually a positive for him here. Next turn will you still send the bomb raid over Singapore? Potentially so, we might even do better in the following turn due to the fact that he is going to have damaged fighters on the airfields. So if we actually nail the airfield, we could actually go about nailing his forces here. Now, do we have any additional sweeps over Singapore? That'll be the question. His fighters and pilots are definitely weak in the early game. Yeah, true. But we've inflicted some pretty good losses there. I'd be very interested to see how he responds in the future. Yeah, his tactic has potentially backfired there. The Dutch did something like this. One of the Japanese aces talks about the Dutch concentrated on all their fighters and jammed up one massive combat air patrol against the Japanese attacks. We might even see aces this time, which would be rather incredible. Okay, so 66 Allied casualties inflicted there. Additional 13 KI-21-1Cs moving in here to the area of the elusive war area. Headquarters, of course. Additional 51... Right, thank God for that. Oh, thank God for that. Yeah, not all of them pull out, though. I don't know why some of them have flown. Ah, fuck. Which bloody squadron was that? Because I thought I told all of them to actually stay down. Fuck's sake. Okay, we must have missed a squadron there, but those are some heavy losses I really didn't actually fucking want to take. Ah, that's irritating. That is really irritating. I know I was going to be happy about that one, and it is going to be one of those things where the Allied players are going to be like, oh my god, he did something so stupid. That was genuinely not intended. I don't know. That's a shame. I don't know which squadron that was. We told all of them to stay down, so we must have missed one of them. That's not so much fun. Ah, well. All going so very well until that moment there. Okay. Yeah. That's not going to be great. No losses. Yeah, misclicked more than likely. Oh, god damn it, don't come in again. Okay, 4 of them make it through, so... Yeah, that's a big oof. Fuck's sake. He's gonna be happy about that one. Okay. Yeah, I'm not even happy about that. That is just an oof. Ah, fuck's sake. How are they all flying? I put their range to 0. Oh, well, we're actually getting through and hitting the airfield, so at least we are doing something here. As you can imagine, I'm not exactly happy. Yeah, only 2 fucking hits on the runway. Fuck's sake. Well, that's cost me a lot of bloody bombers for fuck all. Okay. Yeah, it hurts, but we'll make up for that. I don't know which squadron it was, but we'll find out. That'll have been my misclick, so that's one of my oofs, I suppose it would be. But it seems like we did have a couple squadrons. Right, we are seeing additional exits and 2 zeros here. Well, what bothers him most is he's going to be really happy about that, and it really bothers me too much. It'll be okay. It's a disproportionate amount of bombers than I ever would have lost, but hey-ho. Yeah, Court Martial is commander of that squadron. Yeah. Okay, I suppose that cheers me up slightly. We're definitely seeing a lot of movement here. Pretty much. We must have missed one of them. Right one goes down there. Not much actual naval activity here. Yeah. Well, bomber pilots aren't too bad. I mean, we did lose quite a few... Well, not that many fighters. It's been a big air battle. I know he's going to be happy about that. I mean, obviously what I'll do is... well, let's see. What do we have here? Allied bombardment attack at Mersing. Well, that's a waste of time. We may look at actually moving some forces into Mersing. It might be crazy enough to work. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, we have actually managed to get through to his actual airfield, so we will still have to continue with the airfield attacks next turn. Right, okay. Shock attack with 6 against 0. Wow, that was close. Those are some close bloody numbers there. And we destroy another Catalina. Well, at least that is something that does cheer me up. Another 122 Allied casualties there, and Ocean Island has been secured. Okay, at least that's something that cheers me up. Because, yeah, I'm gonna need it. Yeah. I mean, most of the bombers did withdraw, so I do find it really interesting, because I'm pretty sure I told most of them 0 range. We might have missed something. We might have actually given orders to another. It might have been when we were giving orders to the G3M2s. We might have actually clicked all level bombers rather than just G3M2s, and that might have actually changed the range of them. We'll take a look at that. That might be the only thing I could think of here. Hello there, Victor. Yeah, don't send anything to Mersing until the Air Force at Singers is operational. Yeah. We'll still have the bombers. It's a real shame. I'm probably going to have to throw in some G3s just to build up the numbers again, or G4. Well, definitely not G4s. It's not worth doing it with G4s. Right, 12 Sentai. We'll be able to make up these losses. It's a big old shame, but we'll make it up. It just bothers me he's going to be happy, but then again, he's not got too much to be happy about. He did take a lot of losses there. Right, we are seeing activity out here. Okay, so I'm seeing supposedly a heavy cruiser over here. I'm going to go with the theory that he's trying to evacuate the Prince of Wales, more than likely. That's what I'm thinking at least. Okay, can you look at the aircraft losses this turn? Yeah, they're going to be fairly high, aren't they? That's just fucking crazy. Yeah, he's going to be happy about that, and that really pisses me off. Yeah, they shouldn't have been that high. I know he's going to be really happy about that. That's really hurt. How have they got out? They're on 0 range. I don't understand. Huh. Honestly, that is something I do find strange there. So I suppose in the future we'll have to learn that even on 0 range they can still fly out. Which I do find odd. Okay. Well, that's the lesson learned there that we've learned really harshly, but then again, it's only bombers will be able to rebuild them. What do we have in the pool, actually? Yeah, they will be. But, this is it, we're going to suck it up. Mistakes were made there, we found out even on range 0, they'll still attack. Which, yeah, I find that a little bit strange considering they're on... Fair enough, they had a target. I just honestly didn't think they would attack with no range, but fair enough. At least we've learned that one now. Ah, well. We'll make up for it. Put a bit of a downer on the turn there, hasn't it? Otherwise, it would have been quite a nice... Yeah. Well, we know that one for the future. I suppose we all missed that one as of last stream, so... It's something we'll learn. We'll take a look at what we have here. We do have quite a few maintenance. It's probably going to be a case of we can't really fly next turn, perhaps. How many aircraft do you make a turn? We'll take a look over here. It does have, and it has really pissed me off, but we'll make do. I suppose at the end of the day, 40-odd bombers isn't going to matter that much in the totality of the campaign. We'll be able to make up for that, but yeah. Possibly, but oh well. We'll stop dwelling on it. We'll take a look at how many aircraft we have in the pool, and then we'll move forward. And we can't dwell on it, can we? Okay. Right, so we did have 24 1Cs in the pool. It seems that we might have had about 36 Ki-21 2As in the actual pool here. There we go. Fair enough. Yeah, but that has been used in total. That's fine. Oh well, mistakes happen. Yeah, they'll be replaced. We can see that it's actually reduced his numbers of fighters quite dramatically. So, to be honest, we just have to go in for this. We've lost quite a lot of bombers, but we'll be able to escort the ones that remain. Since we lost a pilot over here. The A6M2 squadron did do fantastically. The fighters in general did well. I mean, that with the actual bombers really did hurt. But hey, we'll stop dwelling on it and we'll move on from there and figure out what we have and what we can do here. Well, bomber pilots aren't too bad. It's the fighters I would care more about. If I had lost that many actual fighter pilots, it would have obviously been... yeah. Okay, how many pilots have you lost? Well, I suppose we lost 46 Ki-21s. Yeah, they're just bombers, don't worry about it. We do have pilots to replace them. Obviously, it does hurt that we lose experienced pilots, regardless of the platform, but that one can be done. I don't know how many fire pilots we get per month, but we have more than that. Yeah, 54 kills in that A6M2 squadron. Not from the single fight, but that is the actual squadron kills in total. They're actually doing pretty damn well. Yeah, they are doing it. They're a fairly good squadron. They've had some good results. You can take a look over here that we only lost 4 A6M2 zeros. We lost 7 Ki-43 1Bs, 11 1A Oscars. We can see the Oscars just aren't up to it. The 1Bs are slightly better, but they're just not up to it. The zeros are going to be the ones to do the swooping in the future, I think we'll see here. Yep, we'll take a look and see if we have any aces. Okay. Yep, look at that. Kill 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2. Don't think we have any aces as of yet. Right, 2, 2. No, doesn't seem that we have any aces as of this moment in time then. Fair enough. Okay. So yeah, we'll acknowledge the fact that we've lost a lot of bombers here. That one's certain. But we still have numbers. We still have the actual ability to continue this. We didn't lose all of them. We do have quite a few damage, but we can make up for that. Yeah, too. That's true, actually. Ah, well. So we know in the future then, do not leave them on mission, even with range 0, they'll still go out and attack. Right, there we go. So, set all Ki-21 2As at the moment. Irritated is probably not the word. I do need an additional pilot here. That's a shame, because I would really welcome those. Right. We do still have some numbers to work with, though. Okay, we'll take a look and find out if we have any aces. So what are we looking for here, then? Top pilots. Right, no actual aces as of yet. But we can see that we do have now 4 pilots with 4 kills each. We did have 44 bombers lost due to a mistake, which is a shame. Yeah, we'll make up for them. It hurts, but yeah. It's one of those things, isn't it? Mistakes were made. I made a mistake, and That's fine, I'm not going to blame anybody else, I'm just going to accept those losses and we'll move on. Okay, so we'll see combat here next turn, which will be good news, be able to move in and take Chixian. Let's go over and take a look at the Pacific then. Oh, well now that really does intrigue me. Hello there, Dave. Probably not the best actual stream to come in from here. I mean, we just did have a massive mistake there that did lead to many, many losses. So normally we're a bit more chipper. But other than that, we did have a fairly good turn here. Yeah. As big as a mistake as Yamato sending the carriers by escort fleet at Midway? Possibly so. Yeah, the sweeps did do good. The thing is, he's lost a lot of his combat air patrol, and he's going to suffer from that. Right. I'll see you later there, Lupus. Have a good one, my man. Yeah. Well, we take a look at the actual forces we have here. We can still pull off the actual bombing on the airfield, considering that he only now has at least 31 fighters ready for operations. 0 over here. Yeah, he doesn't really have much else in terms of fighters here. We can easily overwhelm him now, especially considering we'll have 2 A6 and 2 squadrons ready to go there. We'll have a 3rd KUS-1, we'll have a Tainan KUS-1 as well. Now, you've lost a pilot over here, so we'll take a look at our veterans. Yeah, it looks as though he's actually going to head for Funafuti, which is rather interesting because we can actually take advantage of that. Yeah, that's true. Though I suppose one way to look at it is we did lose over 40 bombers, but then again, we did have in the previous stream... well, we've lost... I think we've probably lost around about the same over China when they've been intercepted by the Flying Tigers. So it's not a astronomical loss, and at least some of them did make it through. So at least that is something. Not many. He doesn't have many fighters as far as I can tell. Okay, so we are running out of actual pilots in here. Obviously, we'll add to this as we go on. Now, I do have... Zumiho, interesting. Right, so these are actually pulled out from different groups then. Okay. June. I do obviously need something with really good air defense. That's always a good one. So we'll take you Kawasaki. Yep, have you assigned to the Tainan KUS-1. There we go. And that's brought us up over here. But it's going to take a little while for that additional pilot to arrive. There's the Kawasaki. Yeah, Kawasaki is going to be here in about... when is he due? 2 days. He'll be here in 2 days. We have seen... Alright, I do have some actual rather poor pilots here. We do need to bring in some additional veterans. We do have some in Tainan KUS-1 who are not fit for the squadron. For such an illustrious squadron that is. So Oyama. Kawakubu. We already have Kawasaki. There we go. There we go. That's an additional 5 pilots. So once we have them all arrive, what we'll do then is we'll have these pilots actually kicked out of the squadron to head elsewhere. So 2 days. Right, so that looks 1, 2, 3 new pilots in about 2 days. Another in 3 days, another in 5 days. So within a week, we'll have all of the poor pilots rotated out of this squadron, and we'll have nothing but good. Okay, we do have some really good pilots here. Like 85 experience is pretty incredible. Yeah, Yokohama and Asada are both within the same squadron here. I think they're probably going to be some of our first aces here. Okay, so let's take a look at the actual bombers we have available. So, yeah, we'll just take another chin. We've lost quite a few bombers, but we can make up for that. So if we take a look over here then, in terms of level bomber, sorry, attack bombers, interesting. Right, in terms of level bombers, In terms of the army bombers, we have 49, 28. So we've lost around about 50% of our force here then in terms of bombers. Give or take. Possibly even more, but we can make do. Now, quite a few are in maintenance here. A few of them will be ready as of next turn. So 49 ready, but how many are actually ready to fly? So we have 5 here. 15, 20, 9. Okay, that is sufficient numbers in my books. That's about 49 bombers ready to go. It seems our losses weren't too terrible. We did see quite a few shot down, but we haven't seen all of them lost. So we still have the ability to go here. The issue is that is going to really negatively affect the actual morale of these squadrons, which does hurt. Now I do have an additional 70 naval bombers here. You can see their morale here, 80, 50. So in reality, we still have bomber numbers. If I throw in the naval bombers, I would have a total of 119 bombers to go from this airfield alone. We do have Ki-48s that can make it to Singapore as well. And we also do have somewhere in the region of 80. Yeah, 54. Thank you, Justin. Rub that salt into the wound. Now, Kidman, thank you for that information. But yes, we do have the numbers to continue this. We've seen that his fighters have been reduced. So it's a shame. I'm sure he'll be happy about the result, but overall we did shoot down quite a number of his own fighters. So in reality, had we not lost the bombers, the result would have been the same. Even as we have lost bombers, the result is the same, that his combat air patrol over Singapore has been critically reduced to a point at which now we can take it down. 12 Centilox pilots. Yeah, if that is a KUS-1, let's check. 12 Sentai. Yeah, 5 aircraft. 13 in maintenance. Right, so we need another couple pilots here. Veterans. We do have a couple bombers. Defense is really what we need. There we go. Yeah, from army bombers, but we may yet throw in the actual naval bombers. Okay. What we'll probably do then is, see, it really depends on how things work out. Because, well, I suppose we do have 2 squadrons of A6M2 So we could have a squadron still sweep Singapore, or we could have both squadrons actually escort the bombers. It might be worthwhile to have both squadrons escort the bombers, or even just use the Oscars to escort. But I think we're probably I don't know, it's a difficult question. I think at the end of the day, we want our bombers to make it through, so he is going to be running combat air patrol. So probably will have to run a mix of sweep and combat air patrol. Don't worry, Singapore will fall. To be honest, it's not going to take that long to fall either. We are moving up here. Yeah, one massive strike with 124 bombers. Well, the thing is, we also do then have, let's see, level bombers. So we have here another 29 Ki-48s. So they can be tasked as well, brings our numbers up further. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to go for broke. We did do about 2 damage, basically basically 0 in the way of damage. Very light, probably already repaired, but that's fine, we'll be able to hit that. We do have high detection as well for this turn. We'll be able to take Singapore down. I think we're going to have to just accept the fact of losses and just go for it. We'll be able to replace those losses in time. I suppose a way to look at it is, it's like at the start of the campaign, due to me setting fighters to sweep at 100 feet and taking spectacular AA losses, we lost about 52 zeros there on the first turn. So we're not entirely in unknown territory when it comes to high aircraft losses. But we'll recover from that, and we've learnt a valuable lesson. And the thing is, we'll never repeat that. So we have to take the actual positives here. Right, still not seeing any carry activity. Interesting to see that we are seeing submarines still around Midway. But the good news here is, well, is he still unloading here at Canton? Now, I actually didn't expect him to move in this direction, so that's rather interesting. I'm quite happy that we moved our forces here, but we are seeing 9 ships in this actual task force, which I do find very interesting. Right, now the question is he aware of Kiributai? As far as I can tell, he is actually not. Yes. Okay, that's interesting. Now, I just want to take a look at what we can manage in terms of range here. Of course, we are going to be moving at full speed because it's just not worth it. But if I was to look at the Fort Experimenter moving at full speed, so if I was to move 8 hexes, that would take me to about there. Direct path south is about there. So obviously we'd be 19 hexes out on full speed. But we're not going to move at full speed because it's not worth it. I think Kiributai is going to sally out this turn. Yeah, so move about 4 hexes here. Speed isn't as great as I would like, but it's still pretty manageable. Now, he's clearly engaging here. He's definitely moving west. Now, super interesting. Something I do find rather surprising as well is the fact that he hasn't actually bombarded at Savai. I do find that interesting. It looks as though we did actually encounter some forces, but due to our threat tolerance, we didn't actually deem to engage, which is interesting. Battleship? I doubt that. No, that can't be a battleship. That's got to be a heavy cruiser. I don't think he could have any battleships in this area, but if he does, that'd be super interesting, because I can't fathom where they might have come from. It's certainly not the Prince of Wales Repulse. They would not be able to escape here without me knowing. I know they're in the area. I know they're not in Singapore. I can fathom that they're probably around here. They might make it through, but they can't make it through that quickly. So I'm just going to say that is a misidentified heavy cruiser, which could make sense. Or even something very large, like a large troop transport. It could be... I mean, the Alliance do have very large troop transports. I mean, the Queen Elizabeth is a fucking gigantic monster. But she moves extremely quickly. Okay. Now, China's interesting. We have finally caught up to these forces over here with the 32nd B Detachment. 156,000 forces over here at Chengchao. We are marching here. 37th Division. Yep. Have you just arrived? I can't remember if you arrived here. We'll take a look. Do you... oh, yeah, Blue Nile. That's the one to check on. Now, actually... why didn't we see landings here? Ah, for fuck's sake. Well, that land has been completely fucked up. Right, I don't know how many men are here. Okay, so the bloody Borneo land has been fucked up. First of all, by myself not having... well, forgetting to actually turn off... do not unload. Bit pissed off. Irritating. Very irritating. Okay. But no, this is fine. We'll have them enter into the area. Seems we're not taking Marie. Seems the actual force pulled off here. Must have been retirement allowed or something like that. Oh, I don't know. I'm starting to be rather pissed off at this time. Might be due to threat tolerance, but either way we'll move in here. Once again, irritatingly. It's not been my turn this turn, has it? We've just not had things go right here at this moment in time, but that's fine. We'll make up for that. I know THG is going to be super, super fucking happy about this, I can tell. Ah, well. In reality, we have things going our way. Had that not happened, we would have been fine. Either way. So we see activity over here. So we see a number of patrol boats and destroyers, well, patrol gunboats. We do also see here down in the south the fact that he hasn't actually bombarded Savai. We do see the fact that he has a large presence of ships over here. So troop transport and cruiser. Troop transport along with 4 ships. Supposed battleship, we're going to say that is more than likely a troop transport or a heavy cruiser. But interesting result nonetheless. He has a lot of ships here bottled up. Okay. But with his forces over here, that is rather interesting. See, the thing is, we're unloading our forces over here, which is as we want. What we're going to do is have these forces reloaded from Talawa into a actual combat-ready state. Okay. What we're going to do then is tell these forces to actually rest and train. So it's going to take about 2-3 days for them actually to come back online. But as you can see, we do have a whole lot of fatigue and disruption over here. Well, fatigue low, disruption definitely high. So we definitely need this rest. Heavy cruisers have similar weight and weaponry layout to oldish battleships. Possibly so. Now, he has a submarine in the area, so I think what we are going to do then is move Kidabutai out. We might actually benefit from the fact that he may not have a single clue where we actually are operating from here. Okay, so we are at sea here. Moving 4 hexes here. What we'll do then is, once we're a little bit closer, well then again, they'll probably be able to make it with their current amount of fuel. We'll begin to load fuel back up a truck. That's fine. Right. Additional supplies arrived. A little bit of extra fuel here. Yep, there we go. 24,000 tons of fuel. 0 units of fuel, but that's fine. We can make up for that in the time to come. Obviously, we need fuel here. Right. We do have a couple of warships in port. We also do have some ships here that could actually spread out some of this fuel in port. Such as these. Destroy Tender. There's another tanker here where we need 12 knots. Now, she does have a very low capacity. Auxiliary repair ship. We do have fuel there if needed. It may be worthwhile to actually take these destroyers and actually try to hunt down the enemy submarine once it comes in close. Considering that we do have a lot of forces converging here. Yeah, some very important troop transports as well. So, not the best time for enemy submarines to arrive here. Okay. So we still have our G3M2s, we can set them to actually aid. We do have an A5M4, we still have the Shukaku. Right, so you're on maintenance, but I'm going to transfer you. Or I guess not quite yet. The A5M4 can be transferred though, not an issue there. So you're aboard Akagi. Transferred to Akagi. And there we go. Okay. Yeah, things are actually working out fairly well for us here. I think, obviously, disregarding the bad news, we do have quite a lot going for us. See, I'm quite surprised this force has survived. They'll be operational again within a day, which is interesting. So we'll actually be able to run some reconnaissance. I do find it extremely interesting that he's actually decided to not bombard Savai. I definitely did expect that. So the thing is, we're now in a better position to defend. Which is very interesting. See, what I'm going to do is actually keep these 2 submarines in the area. I'm going to set them to high threat tolerance, because at the end of the day, we need them to actually intercept the enemy. We can't allow the enemy to make it through here without any losses. Yeah, we do have full ammunition. Yeah, full ammunition here. It's a shame that we don't have a fuel on Savai. We are seeing plenty of ships here. The fact is, the stage is well and truly set for Kidabutai to make an entrance in the coming days. Now, of course, we do have our forces unloading at Tanawa. We do have the additional landing forces over here. Ships were out of ammo, possibly so, and if they're out of ammunition, they're going to find it extremely difficult to load back up and be back in time. They can do it, but it's not going to be great for them. Okay. So we have the 144th Infantry Regiment here. Then in combat mode. Right, we'll give them the actual targets. It may be that we use the 144th Regiment. Though, to be honest, it is... Can you supply survival in the long run? If needs be, I could run actual air transportation from one of these airfields should we take one with actual airfields. What I might do here is actually send the force to Baker Island. We do have submarines in the area, so it might be worthwhile sending our forces to Baker Island. He's continually heading west here at the moment. That is actually a fairly large task force. I do find extremely interesting. It looks as though he's actually going to be headed to Funafuti this turn. Now, I can actually dock you over here, but considering you have no supply, that's fine. Okay, these forces over here, just 153 troops. We do have these actual float planes over here, which are operational. Yeah, I think this turn is probably the turn we dispatch Kidabutai. And this is Christmas Day, 1941. I suppose that is a good present for him. We do have quite a few troops here, actually. We are going to take 2 days to actually unpack, so what we're going to do then is allow that unpacking to begin. So our forces are going to just defend for the time being. Right, these four... Why are they just moving out? I suppose the fact is we haven't actually captured Brunei. What do we actually have here, then? Because things haven't gone as well as I would have liked them to. Any bombers on Tarawa that can reach the cruiser force? No, unfortunately. We only have the... sorry about that vehicle there. We only have the float flying boats. Yeah, you're taking the most dangerous way as well. Jesus. Okay, you need to head over here to Brunei and you need to just unload. That is what you need to do. Well, what we might do is actually use our air-based transports, the L3Y2 Teamers. Let's see. So if I was to actually have you run... Yep, you could actually run supply to Brunei. That might be the best way to go about things, considering that our force there is out of position and probably not worth sending in. And considering that we do have a very large troop transport over there, which is, well, pretty viable. We do have bombers at track, but not at Tarawa. Okay, 2 oilers over here, have them load fuel. Right, we are loading fuel here as well. Well, apparently you're unloading, so we need to tell you to load. Right, load fuel. Okay. Right, disband you for the moment. We have here minesweepers, okay. Right, disband that task force. Yeah, we have 34 level bombers here, 36 but 2 are damaged at the moment. They'll be ready in a day. Oh. Actually, that's rather interesting. So we actually do have the capability to run torpedoes here. Well, that's very bloody handy. Okay, super good. Alright, that's actually cheered me up. Sweet. Right, Tarawa. Now, aviation support 8+9, so it seems our aircraft tender has actually arrived. Yep, here we are. Okay, fantastic. What we're going to do now is I could actually have these bad boys unload onto Tarawa. Or I could even have the F1M2 Pete actually fly back to KYJ and actually have them upgrade. Hello there, Lusitani. How you doing, my friend? But that's a super good result that we can actually fly torpedoes over here. That's super good. Now the issue is range. I need an actual airfield, which we actually conveniently might have. Now Ocean doesn't. Do you have an airfield? You don't have an airfield. You have a size 2 port though, you sexy son of a bitch. Okay, so we don't have what we need here. Indeed, Merry Christmas. I'm glad that we actually did manage to take Ocean Islands, so at least that is something there. We did destroy another Catalina, which is good news. Apologies there. Let's see. I genuinely did expect him to head to Baker, but I suppose with the fall of Funafuti, he's not going to do that. Now we do have Jakes over here. I suppose it depends really what his mission is. Does he actually have troop transports? Because he could actually try to retake Funafuti. But the thing is, if he retakes Funafuti, what would be the actual goddamn point? That's good to hear. Okay. Let's take a look at what we have here at Tarawa. So we have quite a few forces here now. Right. Submarine tender, disband. Katori, right, you've just you've arrived once again in the area. But I can actually use you as a fast transport now, which is fantastic. Okay. 2 patrol boats. Another transport here, disband. Another submarine tender, disband. Definitely need more supply here. Right. What I'm going to do then, do you have range to head back to KYJ? You can't make it to KYJ. You can't be far out. Can you make it over here? You can. Okay. Well, that's good then. What we'll do then is we'll transfer them further north then. Yeah, so right now you're active. What we'll do then is we'll transfer them to KYJ where I can actually have them upgrade. So for example, I do have these E7K2A's. Well, else. No upgrades possible as of yet, so the airfield needs to be size 5, which is a shame. So we definitely need engineers here at KYJ to actually have them upgraded. It seems I have the other aircraft under here. Okay. Probably should check things out first, but well. Yeah, we need a whole lot of fuel here. Okay, we are still loading fuel here. That's good to see. 735 units of fuel left. Okay. This turn is the turn we dispatch Kidabutai. We don't have much time to wait here because if he brings his submarine in here, he's actually then going to be able to see if Kidabutai is here or not. So we need to move out. We also do not want Kidabutai to be subjected to potential submarine attacks, so we are going to leave KYJ this turn. Now we should be able to slip out a port before he's aware. So far, he's actually made some moves I didn't expect. I honestly expected him to bombard here at Savai and additional action at Canton. Now, that does leave us some options here. We could actually base some Jakes down here at Savai to actually increase our reconnaissance in the area. Now, Savai itself is 15 hexes out from Suva. Intriguing. Right. Let's see what we have here in the actual operations report. Right, so this is unloading at Tanawan, I would say. Ah no, these are actually from foremost events. This is the 21st Air Flotilla. How the fuck is he assigned to the 21st Air Flotilla and still receiving torpedoes? Unless I've reassigned them to another closer by headquarters. Ah, no, actually 21st Air Flotilla. How the fuck are you getting torpedoes out here? '24th. Yeah, again, how the fuck? Okay. Let's give them some additional torpedoes here. As you can see, that does use about 200 tons of supply. So 10 torpedoes is about 100 supply, so it's fairly cheap in all honesty. Right, keep that up to 100. I'm not going to question it. I think what we'll do then is we'll move the 21st Air Flotilla out of here. Ah, seems like the base force has been loaded up on Guam. Fantastic. Continue to load the base force over here. Okay, sweet. 8th Tank Regiment. Okay, let's take a look at the south coast of Japan. So we are seeing that task force still out here. I actually expected it to move further forward. He might actually be running this position here to try and intercept. We can see our forces have made it around him though. So yeah, we do have fuel on its way now to the Marsh Islands. Yeah, decent amount of fuel on its way there. I mean, that's what, 30,000 tons of fuel there? Wow, yeah. Yeah, 23,000 tons, 8,000 tons. So that's nice, actually above what I would have hoped for. Was that 31,000 tons of fuel? 31,000 units. Okay, not bad at all. 33,000 tons of supply. Sorry, resources. Yeah, resources. I had to double check when I was like, supply? Shit. Okay, that's what we need. 95,000 tons of resources coming in here as well. That's spectacular. We'll see them loading up over here. So already 49,000 tons of resources. So I'd imagine within the next day at Shanghai, they'll be possibly loaded up. 116,000 tons of resources here. Obviously to the north we'll have additional resources. So 2,500 here. Yeah, additional 69,000 tons of resources here. Fantastic. So the convoy system is actually working fairly well at the moment. Obviously, we'll have more patrol boats to assign to it in the future, but it's running fairly smoothly at the moment because obviously it's not being challenged. Now, which is obviously what we do want. Okay, transfer to track. Seems one of them is there. Just going to take some time to actually get back out. Yeah, it's bloody... I'm just going to have to pick them up with some aircraft. Well, some aircraft bringing supply down here, or just having a aircraft tender brought to the area. Okay, so you've recovered. Have you run 100% search for the time being? We'll have the other one in a week. Right, Iro is loading units of fuel, so 6,900. So next turn you will be ready to be dispatched from Babal-Duab. Well, Babal-Duab. Okay. How did we go with our submarines then? There's activity definitely in this area. I wonder what he's doing is actually, yeah. I think what he might be doing here at Sydney is actually loading up troops. He might be even loading troops up here at Newcastle as well. So what we need to do then is also increase the amount of submarines in this area. But we might actually be able to get lucky here. And as he leaves port, put a nice question in there. Random question, where's the music from? The music is from Hearts of Iron, Free and Darkest Hour. The reason I use that music is because it's actually copyright free, which is fantastic. Right, there we go, we know where to get coffee from. Okay. So we are definitely seeing 4 heavy cruisers here. So the thing is, Kidabutai is going to sail south, and if he keeps his forces out there, then oh my lord, he's in for a rude awakening. At the moment, in totality, we have 461 aircraft, 434 ready at the moment, 12 not ready, 15 in reserve. We are building up the amount of jegs that we actually have here for reconnaissance duties, which is fantabby-dozy. Okay. That 0 will be transferred back to Shikaku when possible. Yeah, we do have 8 G3s here in reserve. Interesting. 27, okay. Yeah. I'm half tempted just to have that one converted back to G3M2. Considering we don't really have a lot of numbers then, it would be worthwhile to have at least one squadron running completely, but then again we do have the G4s to run potential naval search, I suppose. Okay. Yeah, we have fuel to sustain us in the area for some time. We'll pick up... Yeah, we'll have about 2,000 odd units of fuel over here from the Tohabaru. She currently has... Actually, that's not bad. So just over 2,500 units of fuel there, which is decent. Obviously, that spread over Kitabutai is going to go pretty quickly, but it's actually going to give us at least an additional day. We do have ships over here that we could draw fuel from. Yep, here we go. Okay. What I'm thinking here is, let's see. So I do have my H6Ks over here. What I might do is actually have these bad boys transfer. So Vi's out of our range. What I'm going to do then is actually tell you to transfer to Tanawa for the time being. What we'll do is we'll see how this next turn coming actually does go. Okay, which one am I looking at here? This is a bold Nagato. Oh, so sorry about the cold. Okay. I've heard disband. So that's 2 ships right there that do have a lot of endurance. You can see that we have 32 patrol aircraft here. 4 float planes here at the moment, which are the Jakes. Yeah, there we go. And that's exactly what we want there. So let's take a look at that then. So 10 hexes from Tanawa. That was 9 hexes. Okay, so 10 hexes from Tanawa. Yeah, it gives us some pretty good reconnaissance in this area. Now, thankfully, Nauru and Ocean Island have fallen. So the question is, he's actually going to be lacking intelligence here, which is good news. So he's reacting, and the fact that he's actually still got his surface assets over here really shows that he has absolutely no idea Kitabutai is so very close. That is only a few days away. If we take a look at that, so if I was to head directly here to where the enemy task force is at the moment, so we can see that is what, 28 hexes away. Okay, so Kitabutai at the moment is moving at 4 hexes per turn. So what we'll do then is work out how long it would obviously take Kitabutai to physically reach that area, which of course we do not actually need, but it's just worthwhile for a thought experiment. So 28 divided by 4, so that would take us a week to actually reach that area. But of course we do not need to be that close, we can in fact be 9 hexes away and actually score hits with B5N2s. So let's take a look. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in reality, we'll only have to travel 20 hexes before we can actually come in effective range. So divided by 4, so that would take us 5 days. Now, of course, I could really bring that time down by heading on full speed, which would cut that time in half practically, but it's not worth damaging the carriers further. They've already sustained quite a lot of damage from high speed. We also do not have the fuel to actually keep that up anymore. It's just not possible at this moment in time. So Kitabutai will make her slow path south, and the thing is, the more time he has out here in this part of the Pacific meeting little resistance, more courageous he's going to become. Our forces will be able to make it out of here. What we are going to do then is tell the Emakasa Muru, she's already unloaded all her supply here, so she's actually completed her mission. You're going to head back for Tanawa, but we are going to have you head out this way first. And there we go. Only 1 hex per turn though, you're not moving very fast, are you? Due to that, obviously, you have been quite busy this turn. Okay. Low threat threshold. If you go down, that's fine, we'll be able to recover from that. Now, I would be rather interested to see what he's actually going to do over here at Funafuti. We only have 153 men. The thing is, even if he does try to land some forces, such as the force over here at Canton, it's going to hurt him. Yeah, I need Baker Island. I think we need to take advantage of that these cruisers are in this area and snag Baker Island. We will have to run some reconnaissance over Baker Island. Yes, for example, we do have Yokohama too. You're actually running reconnaissance over Baker Island, and it does not actually seem as if we picked anything up. We might run an additional turn of reconnaissance. The good news is that we do have reconnaissance now in pretty decent numbers from within 25 hexes of Tarawa. So that is... yeah. So we can detect things now potentially out of this far from Tarawa, which is a couple days out. Even at full speed, that's still a couple days out from Tarawa. So that's extremely good news. It really does give us a lot of early warning. We're actually building up some small garrisons here. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, they're currently penned in here. It would take them a turn to actually pack up. There's only 12 men left in the island. Are they actually... no, these are actually on the island. Okay, I'm actually going to rethink this. What do you guys think then? Because at the moment we do not have much in the way of actual garrisons around here. We could leave Nauru Island and Ocean Island actually garrisoned with small forces over here, small picket garrisons, to make sure that the island actually does hold. There's some heavy detection over Nauru Island, as well as Ocean Island. He doesn't seem to have detection over Tarawa. Is this my detection over the island or their detection? Wonder if he did what you did, took Canton Island and then abandoned. Maybe sending those troops from another island. Potentially so, but the fact is, we can see there's still some troops here. Now, the range to Canton Island isn't too far, so what we're going to do is actually take the Yokohama KU-2 and actually have them run reconnaissance over Baker Island. Not Baker Island, actually Canton Island. Do I have range for that? I do have range for Canton Island, yep. Just barely within range, but within range nonetheless. So we actually do have range to reach Canton Island, which is fantastic. We'll be able to gather some information here. We do have a submarine here. Now, I do have a couple submarines moving into the area. We do have one moving here to Palmyra. We do have one just moving to the coast of Johnston Island. Okay. I need these bad boys out of here. Ah, sorry. Okay. Yeah. Right. See, what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to travel the most direct path. I'm instead going to meander a little bit further out into the Pacific here. Or can I get away with one more? There we go. Yes, we are going to meander out here into the Pacific a little bit. The reason for that is I'm going to travel on a path down more so towards Ocean Island than directly towards Tarawa. The reason for that is we'll be in a prime position to actually intercept anything coming from the Coral Sea, but also the fact that we are going to be a little bit further distant from the actual Phoenix Islands and the Gilbert Islands, which is where he would obviously expect to see forces arriving. What I want to do is actually sweep in from the flank, then directly. As we can see here, his forces are continually moving west. We might be able to pick them up. Now, it's going to take him a turn to reach Funafuti if he's actually going to do anything here at Funafuti. So the question is, okay, how long is he going to spend at Funafuti? At least a day. So within a day, Kiributai will be here. So if we take a look at that. Now, for Kiributai to reach Funafuti is about 27 hexes from that location. We'll take a look, actually. What's the difference if I was to move from directly south? Which would be roughly around about this area. That would be 27 hexes nonetheless. So we can see here that even if we move out this way, it doesn't actually impair our speed. So we can see there 27 hexes. we'll do a rough calculation of how long it would actually take us to reach the area. So 27 divided by 4, well, obviously hexes per day, that takes us to about 6.75. So something in the region of 6 to 7 days. I'm going to hazard a guess at 7 days, so about a week. So if we take off the fact that, yeah, this force is probably going to be headed to Funafuti, which is going to take them perhaps a day, even if they, I mean, the best case scenario is they move north, and that does buy us a additional day, it does save us additional day on movement. Now, considering the fact of Funafuti being 27 hexes, obviously what we can do here is take that down to 21 hexes, which is the maximum range of our B5N2 Kates. That takes it to 21 hexes in total, as the B5N2 Kates have a maximum range of 9 hexes. I wish they had fucking 21 hex range. So if we take a look at that, so yeah, if we move into maximum range with our torpedo bombers, we'll be there and give or take 5 days. Now, the best case scenario is he moves north. I doubt he's going to do that. But we've kind of got an idea of our timetable here. We'll be within maximum range of his surface force in about 5 days. So about a week here. Now, of course, we could always take the risk of perhaps moving 1 day at full speed. But I do not think it's worthwhile. It might be worth it just to actually run a thought experiment. Now, considering we actually have no operation points here, which means the carriers have been busy. We might then be able to see our speed pick up in the following turns. So, let's see here. The slowest ship is 28 knots. 28 knots, okay. If I was to transfer out the seaplane carrier here, for example, let's take a look. Right. I'd still move only 4 hexes per day. Yep, that doesn't make a difference. So you head back in there. I'm at 23 ships, actually. I could take these additional 2 destroyers, which is worthwhile. Or I could take the additional light cruisers. Though I'm going to probably lean towards the destroyers, considering they do have additional AA. But also the ASW. However, the light cruisers have twice their their firepower, though the destroyers have more in the way of kamikaze class. Yeah, they do have more in the way of torpedoes. Only 1 salvo. The light cruisers have 1 salvo as well. Hello there, Major. Yep, well, things are going rather interesting. Well, we did have a real big setback, so I'll just bring you back up to speed on that one, just so you know what's happening. Okay, so our major setback was the fact that me and myself of infinite wisdom didn't realise that if I have something set to airfield attack, even with 0 range, doesn't mean they still won't fly that mission. So we lost about 50 bombers over Singapore, but we did manage to reduce his fighter complement down to 1/3 of its former glory. But we did lose about 50 bombers in the process, which hurts. All of them KI-21 2s, maybe some 1As. But that's fine, we'll be able to make up for that. Yeah. I mean, you're correct on that one. For example, we do have the seaplane carrier, which I'm not wholly convinced about having run within the actual force here. We really do want principally AA. We would have a vanguard force if we had further numbers, to be fair. Yeah, definitely an ouch, but we did inflict some high losses on his fighters, so we'll make up for the next turn. Yeah, exactly, painful. It's a mistake that we've learnt and won't be repeated, but we still have bombers in the area. Imperial Japanese Army. If it was G3s, it'd bothered me more. Okay. So, what we're going to do here then is... See, I could transfer fuel into some of these guys over here. Yeah, that's true. The only issue with it is just the fact that I do not want to lose any of these bad boys, considering the fact they can be converted into light carriers in November 1942. But of course that is some way away, and we do need to make sure we win the war before that point, don't we? Okay, so I could rebuild that unit, but I'm not going to. I'm going to have them run additional reconnaissance due to the fact that you have a larger chance. Come April, you could build the Rufy float fighters, and 2 float plane CAs can hold 48 total. Yeah, CSs definitely. I mean, 48 float fighters are major, major assets. So the situation here, major... Yeah, definitely. So yes, the situation here, major at the moment, is we have seen Nauru Island and Ocean Island taken. Funafuti has fallen. Now, of course, he did retake Canton Island, but we do have a submarine over here. Now, as far as I'm aware of, 20 troops, 4 guns, 2 AFVs. Of course, we will be running additional... specifically the destroyer classes that you want to run Escort with. Yeah, we'd want the actual most modern destroyers for the most part due to their AA capabilities. What we will be doing in the future is having the Minakazi APD class, once they're upgraded with the Type... Is it the 22? Is it a Type 22 radar? I can't remember if it's a Type 22 or the Type 13 or something. Something like that. But indeed, we'll have reconnaissance from the Yokohama KUS-2? Or KU-2? Was it KU-2? The Yokohama... KU-2, there we go. They're going to run reconnaissance over Canton Island in the next turn, so we'll be able to figure out specifically more information about what he actually has there. Though, of course... It looks as though his actual small fleet over here, well, flotilla, I suppose it's, yeah, I could call that a fleet, it's a decent force. 9 ships is pretty impressive. It does not seem as if he's aware of Kidobutai's presence here in the area of the Marshall Islands. I think he suspects it, but I don't think he knows exactly where they are, which is why he's probably being fairly brave. Though another possibility is the fact that he might have carriers nearby, which is something I'm going to hazard a guess as to say. It's probably better to assume that carriers are here than not. We are detecting a lot of activity around Bad Pearl and San Diego, but I've got to factor in the fact that maybe he is already here with carriers. So that would mean a maximum of 4 carriers, so 3 fleet carriers and 1 light carrier. I doubt the Hermes would be any threat really, but we still have to factor her into our calculations. Now, as far as the USN's fleet carriers, we can imagine he might have something in the region, right, so 90 aircraft per actual carrier. So if we say is at what full capacity, 90 times 3, we'll obviously have to assume that a third of that is going to be actual fighters, though of course that is a varying amount of capability. So let's try and figure out some rough numbers here. So 3 times 90 is 270. So take 270, divide that by, well, third. Let's see, so divide that by 3. That takes us down to 90 again. Why the fuck did I just do that? That's actually simple maths. Wow, okay. Didn't think about that one, did I? So let's assume that is 90 fighters then. We can assume that maybe, I think at this point in time he'll have maybe 2 F4F squadrons, which might be somewhere in the region of 30 planes. I might be more, might be more conservative and estimate 30 planes. He could have maybe 40, maybe less. I'm going to go ahead and go with the assumption that 30 of those planes, maybe 40. Yeah, this is it. I think he'll somewhere have something in the region of about 30 to 40 F4Fs. So if we take that number down from 90, detach really the more modern fighters. So we'll go an assumption of about 30. No, actually, I'm going to go with an assumption about 40, give or take. Yeah, so he might have around about 50 Buffaloes then. And those damned US dive bombs with 1,000-pound bombs are a nuisance. Yeah, I can imagine so. The thing is, we do outrange them, thankfully. If he decides to confront Kidabutai prior to at least February, then it's an easy win for Japan. Yep, ideally so. It's like, for example, we've been working out really the travel time to Funafuti at current rate of 4 hexes per day, which I think is actually going to pick up in the next few days, as we'll actually have some operation points. I think we'll actually be able to pick up the pace and potentially arrive rather than 5 days to maximum range, perhaps even 4 days to maximum range. Ideally sooner. Depending on how the situation goes, if he's actually unloading troops, we might consider a turn at full speed. Maybe. But that is going to be an absolute critical situation in which it would mean the actual destruction of his forces. Other than that, I will not go on full speed. Haruna and Congo didn't have 100 zeros over it. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, at the moment, Kiributai has obviously taken losses to zeros, but we did actually manage to replace some of our losses. So at the moment, we have... Let's see. Yeah, in the region of plains at the moment, we have here currently 133 in total, 123 ready at the moment, 6 are not ready for reserves. So we do have a couple zeros that we did pick up. We do have another one for Shikaku. So Shikaku has a full complement of 18, the other one's just on KYJ. So we'll have quite a few zeros, more than we had previously as we managed to replace some of those losses. But obviously not spectacular numbers, so let's see, 9. Yeah, okay, that's not bad. Obviously, they'll come back online. Then 18 times 3, yep. Okay, so we'll have something in the region of about 85 zeros. We do, of course, then have a couple A5 M4 Claudes. Okay, so that takes us up again to about 44 A5 M4 Claudes with 2 in reserve each in these other squadrons. He invaded Canton with the 111th base force, so nothing spectacular. Yeah, he only managed to take Canton due to the fact there was nothing there. But the fact is, the port is extremely damaged, so 64% damage there to the port. The airfield, I do believe, is similarly damaged. So the thing is, he's taken a ruined prize that we abandoned anyway. It was useful towards these last couple days, but it can be taken again. We did only lose 1 float plane there, because there was too damaged to move. However, we have destroyed 1 Catalina here at Nauru, 1 Catalina here at Ocean. We destroyed 2 Catalinas down here at Savai, so I think we've, for the most part, been wiping out that squadron of Catalinas. I don't think I'd be too happy about that one, to be honest. So it's definitely moving in our favour. The fact that he's continued to move west here with his actual cruisers is extremely interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. At the moment, what I've decided to do here, considering that the amount of disruption on board was growing, is I've actually dismounted our units, disembarked our units, I should say, from the Fiji landing forces. So we'll see that actual amount of supply here increase, which should be quite nice. We'll not need a huge amount of supplies, as obviously we'll have more ferried in. But we are moving them now onto the actual shore, where we can actually begin to rest them. So that's fine, we'll be able to regain some of that potential. We'll also have them reload in combat mode. So rather than wasting 2 days on Fiji, as we will not have that, considering he's actually potentially reinforcing here, we're in fact going to be heading out in combat mode. We also do have the 144th Regiment over here. Now these bad boys are in combat mode. We do need to give them all the correct objectives. They do have some disruption, so the thing is we can't wait too long. But what we might do is, see, there's an actual argument that I've got in mind that is actually rather intriguing. See, the fact is, he's definitely concerned with Fiji. Now, part of me thinks, is it perhaps worth it then to use his concentration of force down there at Fiji, and potentially use the 144th to actually hit Rabaul, which could be accomplished. I do have the Guam, well, I sorry, have the Fiji cover force over here at Tarawa. They could be diverted once Kiributai moves south into the area to actually aid at Rabaul, potentially. We also do then have our bombers over here at Track, which are capable of using torpedoes at the moment. So if we take a look over here, we have now 34 G4M2s, another 2 there to be repaired. We also do have some reconnaissance capabilities over here in the form of the H6K4s. So the 1st KUK-1 squadron could, in fact, cover this area. Now, considering that Rabaul is 17 hexes out, they could actually cover this area with torpedoes and or bombs, which is actually really quite advantageous. Of course, we don't even have to use all our forces. We could use some forces. The thing is, I don't want to run too much in the way of reconnaissance, because I obviously do not want to tip him off. But I think it might be a worthwhile consideration for hitting Rabaul while he's concentrated his forces here. Of course, we will have Kiributai to actually continue on the path south. So what I'm thinking here is potentially we see what we have available to actually center Rabaul and destroy his forces in the meantime. But of course that is one argument. It is one argument I'm actually not going to follow through with at this moment in time because I do not think it's actually worthwhile. However, at Tokyo we do have forces that could do that, as we do have these forces currently loading forces here at the moment. You get the landing bonus till April, so there's months on the calendar. Well, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Yep, December 41, and we'll have that bonus till April. That's brilliant. Yep, so we have forces loading up over here. They're currently loading up on auxiliary ships at the moment. Yeah, that's true. What I'm actually favouring is having forces dispatched from Japan itself to actually take Rabaul. In reality, the main battle is at Fiji, and I can't really split my efforts. We are doing well. We are doing well. Things are definitely going well for us here in this area. He might have won some small victories in the fact of destroying our 2 cruiser mine layers down here. He didn't destroy everything though, which is interesting. So we still have the Kamikaze Maru here. Hello there, Shannon. Now, Shannon, you're going to be angry, but we did have a mistake that did lead to about 50 bombers being destroyed over here in Malaya. But we have reduced his air complement down to 1/3 of its former capabilities, so we lost 50 Ki-21s, which hurt, but that's fine. We'll catch up. See you later there, Major. Have a good one, my man. Yeah. We can make up for that. We have definitely learned a lesson there, but oh well. Irritating, we are seeing only the one landing here at Brunei. We will see that second landing probably in a day or two now. This has just not worked out too well. By the fact that we didn't have our forces set to unload, it has hurt me. What I might do is actually take some additional forces, but I don't think I need to. I think we'll just focus on taking Miri. I do definitely want that fuel there. Yeah, there's a couple mistakes here so far. Actually, let's take a quick look at the Philippines. We've not actually taken a look at this theatre as of yet. Okay, so the Miura detachment has arrived. It is actually going to take the Kimura detachment an additional day or two to actually catch up. But once they do, we'll be good to go. Now, 39 AFVs here. 3,520 troops. 32,000 here at the moment. Okay. We will have additional armor landing in San Fernando as of next turn, as well as additional naval guard, which is what we want. Now... the bombers still flew, even though I had them set to range 0. They still had their mission selected, so they flew regardless. So that's something that will not repeat again, and at the end of the day, this is it. It's like learning from mistakes. Obviously, that's something that we'll know for the future to not, of course, do again. Oh well. It hurts, but we'll be able to recover pretty quickly. Okay, wow. Holy moly. So 4th Division's actually unloaded significantly faster than, was it 34th Division over here to the north? That is really quite nice. Now, there's still a strategic move, but the thing is we can unload them as we go. Jesus, they're not far from done here. 3,144 troops aboard and their equipment. But the fact is, if we've unloaded bloody 10,000 men here in the space of, what, a day? Maybe a day or two, then that is spectacular. And we'll actually possibly have them unloaded as of next turn. At earliest, perhaps. Which would be amazing. Again, apologies for the cold. Okay. Now, our division is marching. Yep, they've begun to march. So we have the 33rd Division. Yep, here we go. So 33rd Division is on its way, which is what we want. Right, Tanaka detachment still here. We are still waiting on the Kano detachment. They'll be there in about 2 days. So 2 days, give or take, the 33rd Division is more or less going to be at this point over here. So what we'll be able to do then is have the 33rd Division move up with another infantry regiment to Cabanation? How the hell you pronounce that base, but they'll be there. In that time, the 4th Division is going to be ready to move as well, so they'll begin marching. We'll have forces to march on Manila before that point. Okay, so unpack and be ready. Right, you're actually aimed at Davao, so we'll have you planned for Manila. 33 there. There we go, 54 for Manila. Fatigue and disruption is being reduced. The good news is once these forces are pretty rested, they'll be good to go. Yeah, they've had a couple days to rest. which is definitely what we need. The fact is, his forces aren't going to have that. We'll actually have them rest here. Right, rest. Mayoral detachment. That's exactly what we need. So, in the space of about 2-3 days, things are definitely going to change in the Philippines. He's going to see a lot of Japanese forces on the march. That's exactly what we want. Okay, what I'm going to tell these forces to do then is just get the hell out of the area to Kamran Bay. It's not worth it for them to be destroyed. Definitely not. Okay, we do have the AV over here. This is what I find strange. The AVs remained in place, but the actual landed forces didn't hit, which I find extremely irritating. What I'm going to do then is have you meet the carriers over here at Task Force 19 and just merge for the time being. Well, they're actually not compatible, but just follow them and do not move. Okay. We do have a couple bombers over here. Nothing spectacular. I think we're better off just keeping them in reserve. I could have used them to actually bomb Brunei, but it's not worth it. We do have a decent force here at Brunei. The second element of the 16th Regiment is pretty good. Okay, so we are loading up additional tankers over here, which is what we want. A oiler there as well, which is fantastic. Now, the Singapore Express is actually in position off Malaya in pretty good order. We do have a fair amount of protection here. It may now be the time to move the Maya and possibly even Congo out of the area. Maybe the time. Interesting. We saw the battle at Mersing over here, which is rather intriguing. He went for a bombardment. Now the question is he going to go for a deliberate attack next turn? But the thing is, that's cost him another day, so that is another day of which we've gained there. Okay, let's take a look over here. Our forces will be at Georgetown within 2 days. Probably tomorrow we'll be able to send them to combat. When they arrive at Georgetown, they'll be able to take his forces out here rather quick, sharp, and then we'll move on down to Taiping. Once we take Taiping, our forces then can strategically move up here and actually gain back some time. Okay, these forces have readied themselves, so what we're going to do here is just disband this force for the time being. Right, let's see. I don't have a huge amount of forces here, so to be fair, I could actually use this aviation elsewhere. Now, the actual tenders here will, of course, actually have... Yeah, let's see. F1M2 Pete's. E1 3A1 Jakes. They'll also have some additional Pete's, I'd imagine. Yeah, as well as some additional Jakes. Fantastic. Coffee Royale time. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. But the fact is, we do have some additional float planes over here, which is definitely going to help us out. It does mean we'll have the additional capabilities to run reconnaissance, which is what we want. So we'll have them deployed. The Pete can be quite handy as well. I could have them deployed over here, just run search in this local area. For example, if I run them at a low star, they can actually watch over the Straits of Malacca very effectively for me. Everything has its use, everything has its place, everything has its, sharp end aimed at the heart of the Allies. The heart of darkness. Okay, so let's take a look at the additional numbers that we have here then. So, aircraft pool. Okay, so, actually first and foremost, let's take a look at aircraft reinforcement pool. It's actually Squadron 1 I was wanting, but this is fine, so work for me. So I still have 69 A5 and 4 Claudes in the pool, actually, they're quite handy. What we could do is actually use them elsewhere, set up training squadrons to actually have them, which would be quite handy. 58 G3M2s here. Right. A6720. So we have 8 of them now in the pool, which is good news. Very handy. I think currently we're seeing about 6 or 7 produced a month, is that correct? Possibly. Okay. What are we taking a look at then in terms of R&D? Gifu's moving up. Okay, so I can start to reduce the amount of supply required at some of these bases. Like, yeah, that's really over what we need at some of these. We'll just have to keep tabs on them, but the bases with 40-odd K supply definitely need to reduce that and have it moved to the bases where we definitely need it. So we'll reduce it down to, let's say, 3,000 tons potentially, or even 5,000 tons. I think 5,000 tons is probably the sweet spot. Though, right, we'll have it down to about 2,000 tons here at the moment. And then we'll obviously jack it up when we need to. They do have a decent amount of supply. 3,000 tons for this one. Drag that down to 5,000 tons. Hiroshima, yeah, you're losing quite a bit of supply there. As obviously you're loading. Kobe needs more. In fact, Hiroshima needs more. Actually keep that back at 7. Babashi definitely needs more. Nagasaki's fine. Nagoya needs more. Okayama needs obviously more. Kyoto, we're fine. So we're going to reduce that down to about 5,000 tons. Sendai's similarly good. I'm going to reduce that down to 5k. Tokyo, looking pretty good. I'm going to reduce that down to 8k just in case. Right, Su's good. Su can just maintain that current level considering you're just over 20k. Need to have that stay there. Yep, same levels here. Yokohama can stay up. Actually increase the amount required at Yokohama / Yokosuka. Right, so we just need that supply to be distributed into those bases as we need it. Okay, so let's go again to the operations log. Now that's what I find rather interesting. 9 allied ships at 151, 134 near Baker Island, Barnum. A 129, 116. Now, I'm just going to go with the theory that was probably a friendly force. Probably. I think we'd probably picked it up by now. More than likely. Okay, I know it's a little bit mad, but the first KUT actually has torpedoes. I'm a little bit bewildered by that one. What I'm actually going to do here is just save the game. So we'll have this turn 52. So turn 18 in slot 52. Just save that here. Okay, there we go. What I'm going to do here is actually have them assigned to the 21st Air Flotilla so I can actually see if they do, in fact, still keep the capability of torpedoes. So I'd rather have them assigned to the 21st Air Flotilla, which would actually allow me to free up this other Air Flotilla that we are transported from Formosa to go elsewhere. So, 23rd Flotilla is actually what I want, isn't it? I'll double check nonetheless, but I believe it is the 23rd Air Flotilla. 24th Air Flotilla. Wrong twice. Right, 24th Air Flotilla. Let's see, 36 political points, we can afford that. Yes, you retain the ability to use torpedoes. Absolutely amazing. Okay, what we need to do now is we need to find additional squadrons to head out into the Pacific. The Pacific is absolutely our shield here at this moment in time. It's also our shield and our sword. If you've seen Rise of the Shield Hero, it's kinda more useful than his shield, but similarly quite protective. You can make people look like dicks if you're dueling with it. And that's pretty much our status here at the moment. That was a good episode, by the way. Okay, as we can see here, keep our submarines in active service. I'll probably pull them back just a little bit further here. The fact is, if he moves from there, he's risking submarine attack, and he knows that. He knows he's been lucky. So the good news is, things are definitely lining up for a victory for Japan here. He's just moving forces into the area. And it's doing nothing but actually aiding us. Because in reality, all he's doing now is lining up these dominoes, and Kidobutai is going to be that kid that just knocks them all down. And that's going to hurt. If he loses so many surface assets in this area of the Pacific, it's definitely going to set him back massively. He might have infinite resources, but he does not have infinite ships. At least not yet. He will, have them back eventually, but they will be missed for some time. We can just strike a pretty heavy blow against him. The fact that Savile has survived really does intrigue me. Really intrigues me. Now our plane will be available next turn, which is very nice. If you are available, I'd like you to run reconnaissance up a go. The reason for that is, well, frankly, we don't have a clue what is there. They're not running naval search here at the moment anyway. See, if Funafuti wasn't actually under direct threat, I could have actually sent some H6K4s down here, but that is going to be in the future, actually. Now we can do something like that. We don't have a huge amount of naval guard there. Right, let's see what we actually have at Tarawa that is available for active service, and rather immediately so. Okay, quite a few patrol boats here, very handy. Tanker is heading to KYJ. We're going to tell it to actually not do that. There's no reason to. We are unloading over here at Tarawa. I know I wanted it to move back, but we have fuel on its way. This is actually going to do us a greater service due to the fact that we do have a lot of units of fuel that are now going to unload at a forward position. So we aren't going to be returning to KYJ, but the good news is rather than having to return all the way to KYJ, we actually will knock about a day or two off the actual return leg, as we can return to Tarawa and refuel at Tarawa, which obviously would take a fair bit of time, but it's better than nothing. Do I have anything over here? So we currently have 2,400 tons of resources here. We're unloading some nothing supply, okay. But that's fine. That's fine. Strategic move, right, you need to train. Rest and train. Just over 200 troops there. Now they're part of different units, which isn't great. There's no engineers. Okay, we do have almost 10,000 tons, almost 9,000 tons of resources there. So in reality, we have about 10,000 tons of resources here, which is quite nice. Should we actually take Numea, I could actually have them move down there. And if that light industry is repaired, we could actually have then 10,000 tons of resources to actually use, which wouldn't convert to much supply. It might be like 2,500 units of supply, but that would be freaking awesome. Actually, I don't even think it'd be that good. Probably would be just like 2,500 units, maybe even less, maybe 1,125, 1,250 units of resources, somewhere in that fucking region of time, maybe 1,500, somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It's not as efficient a conversion. Okay. So let's take a look at the Malaya situation, and we'll take a look at what we can actually do here. We are aware that we can beat him now. We've lost a lot, and had we not lost that many planes, we would have actually been able to destroy him utterly. And we still will. We still absolutely will destroy him. It is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to destroy him at Singapore. Once his air forces have been destroyed, but the fact is he will probably still run combat air patrol because he has actually no choice at this point now. He has no reason not to. So it might even be potentially, perhaps we'd hold off on the actual air strike. Let's take a look. Right. Okay, what we're going to do then is we are going to hold off on the actual air attack over here at Singapore. Now the question is he going to run combat air patrol again? I'd imagine probably so. I don't think he's going to have the option to say no to it. He knows that we're coming here. He knows that we've struck a pretty savage blow against him. So what we might do then, but then again he also might conclude that we have lost a lot of bombers and therefore we wouldn't risk it. So I think the question is going to come down to what do we think is worth doing. We could go again. We could definitely fly to Singapore with the bombers that we do have. We do have numbers there to cause issues, to cause damage. And the fact is, once we do cause damage, that damage is going to increase over subsequent turns as we'll have additional bombers. We do have Ki-48s. We do have the G3s that we could throw into this as well. So we do have the potential to still send something in the region of 100 plus bombers if necessary. We also do have 2 squadrons of 40-odd A6M20s. We also do have 30 aboard the Singapore Express, as well as the multiple squadrons of Ki-43s, the 1As and 1Bs. We have the capability to do it, and I think we probably should do it. We're not going to see anywhere near the amount of combat air patrol as we did of last turn. So it might be that we send in the sweep first. Indeed. I think we still lose quite a lot of bombers, but I think at the end of the day, I think we just need to commit to this now. So we'll decide on this one. Because once the actual airfield falls silent at Singapore, that is definitely going to make a colossal difference. I still have some actual planes that I could send out from Baby Kitabutai. Yes, we have 30 zeros I could send out this way. More in reality, as I'll be able to upgrade. We've upped the size of these squadrons to 30 zeros, so we'll actually be able to increase them over time. Okay. It's irritating me that he's not doing anything over here. He only has 4 H-81, so I imagine he's actually taken his planes from China out now. They flew bloody far. If they went from here in one turn, that's incredible if they did it in one turn. I don't think they did it in one turn, but probably over the course of 2 turns perhaps. 12,000 troops here, 20,000 troops here. Now, he actually has nothing in this spot here. Which really intrigues me. What's the range? To Kanshian is about 8 hexes away. From Kagi is 7. Airfield size 4. Airfield size 8. Still have mines in Hong Kong. Right. Share some of that fuel out there. Okay, so we're still sweeping for mines over here by Hong Kong. It isn't working every single turn, but it's probably worth still doing that considering we have nothing here to waste but time. Okay. What I'm thinking here is we might actually use some of our air landing forces from Formosa to actually land at Kanshian. Now, if he has nothing in the way of force there, that actually would be a bloody big blow to his forces, considering that, yes, he's running supply down here, but this supply is running to, yeah, towards my bases. He could use it to run down this road over here to Chinese units, but I think we might take this opportunity potentially in the next coming days. If he has nothing there in the way of force and we engage him on the ground here at Kukong and at Wuchao, we might actually be able to strike a pretty savage blow as well there, using airborne troops. I'd imagine we'll be able to pull that off. Now, the 3rd Division did take a lot of blows over here. Of course, they have lost quite a few of their units, something in the region of, yeah, half their strength, but they'll be able to recover that. In time, of course. Did hurt, but it will recover. Right. We do have a 22nd Division which is ready as well to head towards Wenchao. Once they arrive over here. We might even have them head towards Chuxian to actually back our forces up, which is not even a bad idea, considering we are seeing 15,000 troops there, which is not a huge amount of men, but still something we have to take into consideration. We do have 13,593 active fighters here with an additional 11,794 non-combatants, and what was it, 42 vehicles, 200 odd guns. We are lacking guns in this area. That's the issue. Right, so we'll see active combat here against this unit. We'll go for deliberate attack because it's frankly not worth it to run shock attacks without perfect information. I could probably get away with a shock attack, but I'm not going to take that risk. Right, the 32nd A detachment is heading towards the Chinese unit over here. It's going to take them about 2 days to arrive. But once they do that, it's done. Lack of supply over here at Kuwait. There's actually some light industry here, so we do need to tell them to actually hold on to resources. Indeed. Okay. Right, what we're going to do then is we're going to tell our bombers. I suppose the question is, do we stand down for a turn? Possibly so. It would allow us to actually run another sweep over the actual airfield and possibly further reduce his numbers. We did take a lot of losses in the air, and so did he, so it's going to be a very interesting battle here. Hello there, Andre. Yeah, it is a shame, not gonna lie. I think what bothers me more about it is that it was a mistake. That's what bothers me more. Had it been a deliberate thing, then fine, I would have accepted the losses, but oh well. Well, this is it. I think in the Fiji area, he's definitely committing. I do not think he has information here as to regards of the location of Kitabutai, and they're going to move south now. So the fact is, his grace period is in fact up now. Kitabutai has spent a couple of days at port. She does have fuel now to persecute this campaign, and will obviously be moving further fuel there. We do have a couple of forces over here, which we'll be able to make use of. So, Ocean Island, Nauru Island, Funafuti has fallen. I think what we are going to do is dispatch a force to Baker Island, as that will eliminate all bases in the close vicinity. The fact is as well, we'd also have Baker Island, which would have its size 1 airfield. Would give us not the range to reach Suva. It would take us about 4 hexes out. Range enough for Savai and range enough for Pago, which is worthwhile. Obviously we'd have more than enough range of Canton, range over this area. So Baker Island is a absolute necessity at this point. Okay, so we're still unloading here, still have supply, that's fine. Right, we still have our surface combatant force with Nagata, Mutsu, Aoba, Kinagusa, Furataka, and Kako. So we have more than enough force to defeat him in this area. These ships are going to need a lot of overhaul in the future. I suspect a lot of his forces will probably need the same if he keeps running full speed. Right, let's see what we have available for a fast transport mission. Because if we can pull that off, I'd be very happy. Right, fast transport. Let's take a look. So Kotori's ready. I could use the heavy cruisers, but I don't think it's worthwhile. I do have some of these actual destroyers over here that could run that, and might actually be worthwhile running that. So let's see, Kotori is ready. Now these old ships are worthwhile, but the destroyers could do this. Very interesting. Let's actually take a look at our troops on the ground and see what is worth taking. High disruption, high disruption. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so we have our winners here, the 52nd Naval Guard. 510 infantry. It seems, yeah, it's just nothing but men with rifles, but that is fine. If there's nothing aboard Baker Island, we can manage that. What is the troop load cost here? 510. Okay, so I could probably pull that off with either a couple destroyers or even with the Kotori. Now, Kotori would be joined by her sister ship, the Kashima, in a couple days. But yeah, we can definitely pull this off with a fast transport at Baker Island. I mean, even moving to 18 knots seems relatively slow, but imagine that most transports move at something in the region of 10 to 12 to even 14. Absolute best are like 16 to 18 knots. So she's moving it at the top speed of the Kyushus, which is the fastest cargo ship we have. So this is actually going to be a fast transport, as its name does say. So, Bacon Island is 17 hexes out from Tarawa. Let's load up for the fast transport for the fast mission at Tarawa. Well, from Tarawa to Baker. We can pull that off. The good news is we also do have additional aviation support here now. As the tender has arrived, we'll have another one sent down this way. Right, let's do this. We're going to load up the 52nd, was it? Right, Kotori, 275 troop transport. I could take the heavy cruisers, but the heavy cruisers are required for battle. What I could do is actually take these inferior troop transports. But then again, the Akazuki The Fubuki class, sorry, she's not the best destroyer. She does carry a lot of torpedoes though, but she's not the best, but she actually does have 150 troop capability, well, troop capacity. So if I take a look then, so Ikazuki, 425 troop load, I could go with Inazuma, so that's 3, yeah, so that's 2 destroyers there, one actual light cruiser. Yeah, exactly. If what I was saying about the strength of the US fleet is true, I mean, this is it. He's got a lot of his assets down here in the South Pacific, so even if we might miss some of it, I think we're just going to pick off a lot of forces. He has a lot of forces at Fiji right now. All we need to do is come within range of it. I do not even need to be closer than 9 hexes. 9 hexes, that's it. The game is up for his forces there. It would just be a matter of time until they were annihilated from the actual sea there. The good news as well, if his forces are in port, they only gain half of their AA capacity. So it might be he has a lot of surface combatant forces, but if they're in port, they're losing half of their AA at a moment's notice. And the fact is they don't really have they don't really have the opportunity to escape once they come within range. Okay. Right, well, what I'm thinking here actually is, let's see. Do I take one heavy cruiser? Because I could actually do this either at 80 knots or I could do this at 30 plus knots. I think I'm probably going to go with 30 plus knots. We'd see that done in half the time. But let's take a look at using Katori, for example. What sort of speed could we make it to Baker Island with? Right, so if I was to head to Baker Island, we'd make that in a matter of 4 hexes per turn. So she's 17 hexes away. Let's take a look at this then. Right, so 17 hexes divided by 4 would be there in just over 4 days. If we take Katori or something else, yeah, we're going to be able to move faster. Yeah, he's going to have bad should we actually have things line up as we wish. What I'm going to do then is, let's see. Now, I could actually take other destroyers. I think I might do that, considering then that we'll still have our major forces here. Beware of stuff though, when you get there you might want to have some naval bombers on ASW duty. Well, this is why I'm actually kind of leaning more towards destroyers now, actually. Let's see. So that would take me to 400. It would deprive me of destroyers in this area, but we do have Kidabutai moving south, actually. But with this, we'd have 550 troop load, which is what we need. We'd be able to move at 33 knots rather than 18 knots. It's a fairly armed force. I mean, 5 destroyers is no laughing matter. We'd have an ASW of 12. So that's pretty good. I think what we might do in the meantime then is have either the patrol boats actually folded into the Fiji cover force. But with this, we'll be able to load up the 52nd, which is in... I think they're actually still unloading, which is why, but I need them anyway. Right. See, I could wait a day and maybe have them unload, but I think we have the forces to move here. I think we just need to move them. We'll have reconnaissance. So what I might do then, I think what we'll do then is we'll actually make something of a... And then again, I don't even need to take all those forces. So I think what we'll do then is... Let's take a look at the speed at which they move. So fast transport. Okay. So it's looking about 4 hexes per day here on mission speed. If I was to move them at full speed, for example, they'd be there in 2 days. But that's not necessary, and it's a lot of fuel being wasted there. Now, of course, the destroyers do not have the fuel to remain on duty long. So it seems we move the same speed there. 4 hexes per day. Okay, so that's fine. What we're going to do then is go back to the Katori. That keeps my forces here, which is good news. Okay, Katori, you're going to do the job. Now, that does give us more than we need here. The question is, do we actually just use Katori and 2 destroyers, or do we even just use Katori and a destroyer and just Katori? Katori could do it alone. But the fact is, I mean, these fucking old ass cruisers are just freaking fantastic for this role. Like, I've really underestimated how useful they are, because they are bloody useful. I'm not even kidding you, I really do like these old cruisers. They are just amazing for fast transport. Let's just take a look then. Yep, 4 hexes, so nothing lost there. We'll still make the same progress as if we were using all those destroyers. The destroyers obviously would be able to make the speed up, as I'd imagine they'd have their operation points after. But the fact is, 4 hexes per day. We'll be there, what, 3-4 days? That's fine by me. We'll have the fuel to share for Kotori with the Ikazuki and Inazuma. And we're not surrendering a great deal of our ASW capacity or surface warfare capacity, which is good. We'd also have a float plane to help guide us in, which is good news. We'll run reconnaissance over Baker Island, but we're going to begin loading up the 52nd ASAP. Okay, load. I could load some supply. We only have 250, but that's fine. Yeah, don't overestimate destroyers. One good shot from a CA is enough to sink a tin can, but then again, a torpedo from a destroyer is enough to sink a battleship. So it's one of those of... yeah, you don't really want to underestimate any ship, to be honest. Every ship can kill something else, given the correct circumstances or the actual luck. The good news is we do have forces growing in the area, which is what I like. Okay. Excuse me, sorry about this. I have a terrible cold at the moment. Okay, so verify load. Yeah, that's fine. Set load. 100% allocation. 12% safety factor there. Obviously, we have 12% access, capacity. There we go. So we'll load in the forces over here. So they have 51 troops on board. We've only got to load 10 times that, which is not going to take them too long at all. And they'll be ready to go towards Baker. The good news is we should have some operation points next turn, so we might even have additional speed. We'll take a look at that. But this is perfect. Kotori just makes a beautiful force here. So the Baker... the Baker's dozens will set out there. Okay, we'll have them plan. Well, currently a plan for Suva. I'm not going to surrender that actual planning bonus. It's not worth it. So, yeah, the good news is, once he moves out of this area, considering that we do have 4 submarines in the immediate area as well, I could leave a submarine by Baker, or I could take other submarines. We do have other ones closing in over here. For example, I-21 has 10,563 endurance. I could have her run at full speed to actually make it towards Baker in potentially 2 to 3 days, possibly coinciding with the forces of the Baker dozens to reach Baker. And then use these submarines over here to head towards Funafuti, which is pretty much where he's heading here at the moment. Yep, that seems to be what he's doing here. What we are going to do then is have these submarines patrol here at Savai. The good news then is, should he actually send forces to Savai, he's going to have to think twice, because he's going to find it harder to actually land forces, considering that if he does send them, then, well, he might lose them. So that's good news. I think in reality, had we not lost those bombers over Malaya, over Singapore, then this turn certainly would have been completely Japanese domination, really. Because it has gone Japan throughout all of it, barring this one incident over here at Malaya. Obviously, this has been a bit of an irritation, but that's fine, we'll take it back. Irritating as fuck, but I will. Yeah, I mean, these are bloody viable ships as well, so it really pisses me off. Yeah, well. We'll take it. That's fine. It's one of those things I wish I could go back and change that, but we have to accept it as it goes. And this is the fact. We just have to learn from mistakes. That's all we can do. Indeed. Right, okay, so what we're going to do here then is we're going to make a quick save. So... Turn 18, part 1. Tragedy over Singapore. Size turn 193. Hold on 2 ticks. Okay. So I'd say, guys. Right, one sec. So that was save. Was it 195, 193? Thank you there, Dave. I used to be faster. Right, 193. Here we go. 193. Go to the tracker. There we go. I've actually started to run out of saves, so I'm having to go right back up the list so I just don't use them all. Okay. Glasses down. We're in. Oh dear. Definitely, definitely. Okay, just loading it up here. Right. Okay. Current turn. I still find that interesting. I really need to look at this one. I always say that, but I never bloody do. So, current turn. Right, we did actually sink a ship, which was quite nice. The Prince Van Orange. So at least that is a cruiser by now that has been destroyed. Two submarine, well, a submarine, two torpedoes, accurate as well, which is quite nice. Okay. Who do you belong to? Yokohama KUT. Are you the actual squadron leader? Not super sure, actually. Who the hell do you lead here? Ah, there we go. Pilots have arrived at Harbin, Hong Kong, and Akagi here, which is good news. Aircraft have upgraded. Ship repair complete, interesting. Supposedly Tarpon has been sunk, but yeah, we know that one's not exactly right. I know we did do damage to one of them. I think it was Tarpon. She might have gone down, I do not know. I mean, this is it, I wish I did know. But without the confirmation of battle, I can't, and we'll just assume she's alive. It's safer in that way. We know we definitely did damage some submarines heavily in that area, which might be why he's actually pulling back out. He did strike a successful hit on Maya, the Megami class Maya. But the fact is, he's potentially lost 2 submarines, or maybe more for that, in terms of damage. So was it worth it? Possibly not. Possibly not. Anyway, right. Industry. Okay. Yeah, resources are going down, which is definitely that oil and fuel. Ideally, in the next turn, we'll be able to start to remedy that situation. Okay, the thing I'm interested in here at the moment is Japanese resources. Okay, so we see supply going up here again. We can see that our resources are currently staying the same. I think what we're going to see then is probably cycles, where we'll have 4 turns of resource usage going up, i.e., well, resource storage going up, and then 4 turns of resource usage going down, and then up, and then down. But the fact is, we'll always be at a higher starting point than we were before. As you can see here, for example, has been going down, but the rate at which it's been going down has been significantly different. Some turns to take into consideration is, for example, take a look at turns 7 through 9. You can see 4.682 million tons, 4.638, 4.583. Then over here, 17 to 19, 4.758, 4.686, 4.7678. Sorry. So you can see it's actually gone up as of well, ever so slightly. Supply's gone up, which is nice. Yeah, it's definitely reversing. I think in the next few days we'll actually probably see it reach maybe 4.9 million tons, maybe 5 million tons. Then by next cycle, I think we'll actually reach 5 million tons. Okay, air production. Ah, yes, we add up to 67 zeros a month, 2.2 free per day. The Sallies, yep, okay. So we are producing 1.57 Sallies per day, so the KI-21-2A Sally, almost 2 of them per day. Obviously that number will increase, so it'll come to a point at which we are producing like 2 per day. So we'll be able to replace those losses. It's a shame that we've had to do something like this, but oh well. E1, 3A1J, yeah, okay, G3M2 nails. We have quite a nice glutton of those, which is real nice. Right, B5 and 2 canes, okay. Which the zeros I'm most interested in. Notice I actually do have 12 KI-431Cs now in stock, which is very, very good. That number's at now 2.03, so that number's actually going to really... I'd imagine the zero production is going to... Sort of the Oscar production is going to be outpacing that for zeros pretty quickly. Okay, which is obviously what we want there. I think this is actually... there we go. So over at Kaifeng, a couple of them are on maintenance, so 2 days until we have the entire squadron. I think what we're going to do then is actually potentially take the squadron and consider actually having them transferred either to Malaya or elsewhere. Though I would like to actually have some good air power in China. It's a shame I've not been able to see them actually enter into combat. I do want to actually see them kick some ass. But oh well. What we could do then is take advantage of the fact that he's lost a lot of his actual forces over here, or at least move them out. Now, I still have some numbers of KI-21 1Cs over here, but these are the 1C models, not the 2C. So, or 2A, sorry, so it's probably not worth it throwing these into Malaya, due to the fact that I can't really replace these losses, considering... Actually, no, we do have 24 of them in the pool, so not too bad, actually. But still not great. Okay. B5A1 games. 11 hexes out, okay. Right. We're over capacity here. But Tainan KUS-1 with 54 kills. And then 3rd KUS-1 with 37 kills. Okay. I suppose the thing is to take a look at it. Yeah, we did lose 46k. Actually, no, that's not too bad then. So today we lost 46k 21-2A solids, and not the 50 that we feared. So that's not too bad then. 44 in air-to-air, 2 at flak. So some of us actually did make it through, which was nice. We didn't really inflict much damage. I think we did damage some of his planes on the ground, actually. Some of them, at least, which is nice. So we know that once we do make it through, we actually are going to do a lot of damage. We can see here that he did lose 19 buffaloes. 12 H81A frees. Now we lost 43, well, 11 43s, 18 43s in total. Then 4 zeros, so about 22 fighters in total. He then lost 8 P40E Warhawks, 6 P40Bs, 5 CW21s, yeah, a couple of aircraft, 2 Catalinas today. No, well, the thing is we can afford those losses, we can replace them over time. Obviously it's not something that we would have liked. It's one of these, we can replace them. The planes can be rebuilt, it's the pilots that hurt. But we'll manage it, don't worry about it. It's one of those things we'll just have to learn from that mistake and move on. Okay. We did do our fighters. See, our fighters do very well, though. So had the fighters actually... I mean, it could have even been a potential turnaround where had the zeros arrived at a earlier time frame, then we might have seen less bomber losses and even actually managed a successful strike, but oh well. Yeah, a lot of pilots reported missing and killed. Though not all of them. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we've actually taken additional replacements here. Oh, hello. Okay, so we've already taken some KI-21 2A replacements already, which is nice. Okay, that's cool. That's very good then. So at least we already have replacements in the area, so they're going to take some time to come up, but we'll still be ready to go. So we can see here then, so Soro and Hiro did, Shikako as well took some D3A1 vowels. Sweet. Okay, that's what we'd like to see then, so... Cool. Yep, that's another 5 D3A1 vowels. Nice! 2 days until they're ready. Fantastic. And these bad boys aren't the most dangerous, but they still have 7 hexes of range, so that's nice. We actually do need to adjust their missions here. I'm probably going to still leave them on ASW, though... Is it worthwhile? Maybe. But that's very good news. Very, very good news. I need another 2 pilots here at Hiru. Right. Yep, just spotted it. That's not bad, actually. I think we want low naval. Yeah, low naval attack skill. There we go. They'll be here. 5 days, 3 days. Okay, so in about 5 days we'll have both pilots there. Need additional 2 here. Da, da, da. There we go. No, I do have the numbers here, okay. Needs another pilot here at Soru. Oh, Jesus, 87 is incredible. Two days. Rest are fine. Okay. Now, see, the thing is, I don't actually... I think what I might do here is going to be a little bit counterintuitive. But what I think we need to do here, then, is as to not tip him off to the fact that I do have Kitabuta in this area, I do have to do a number of certain things, such as actually... well, D3A1 vowels, I'm going to tell them to stop for this turn. The reason being, if he sees vowels in the area, he is going to know Kitabutai is in that immediate area, which is going to actually change his entire strategy in this area. So we're going to tell the D3A1 vowels to actually not run ASW for this time being. Once we're a little bit further out to sea, then we can run ASW again, but not in this immediate area, due to the fact that, yeah, it might tip him off. And I think him being tipped off about the presence of Kitabutai would actually be really bad at this point. Not because it would see us lose anything, but rather it would see us lose potentially a advantage of surprise. Indeed. So I could also up their altitude once again. I could even just use them on a search roll. I might use them on the search roll, Possibly. I mean, 10% from every squadron is a lot of aircraft out there, but we now do have the actual search planes to do that for us. So maybe we just have them in the naval attack role. We'll want them at 10,000 feet. And potentially just go with that. Again, sorry. We're running combat air patrol with the zeros here at the moment. Okay. Now the B5N2Ks are running quite a lot of search at the moment. 8,000 feet. What I'm going to do is run 10% search. And in fact, let's go over here to float planes. Yeah, so we have a good number of actual float planes over here. What I could do, let's take a look. What's the actual capacity of the Cheetos? I could actually fit another 3 planes aboard here. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, a lot of supply here. Right, you can impede. What I'm going to have you do is actually head for Tarawa. Possibly full speed, which is only still free, so not worthwhile. I'll give you an actual escorting patrol boat. Yes, a patrol boat from 279. Actually, Task Force 70 I'll give you a patrol boat from. Okay, at least you do have something of a actual escort there. That's fine. Cancel unloading. Move out. Destroyer tender. I don't need the additional supply here, as we do have cargo ships, so I'm going to tell you to disband. Obviously, you'll head into the port and be useful. Ondo, still here. You can disband. Okay. So do I only have the one AV here? Seems I only had the one AV here. What I could do is at Tarawa. Right, you don't have anything here. I'm gonna have you actually load your tender. Okay. I also do have 3 destroyers, which is really nice. Yeah, super nice. Actually, it does give me quite a little bit of extra force there, so that's nice. So what we'll do then is surface transport, well, surface force, sorry. That's 3 destroyers, yep, there we go. Additional 3 destroyers there for us, fantastic. So that definitely does help out then. So we can have our 2 destroyers over here and the cruiser head out without taking a huge amount of our force, as we still have some additional ones here. So we do have a pretty fearsome force here. I mean, this is 2 battleships, 4 heavy cruisers, 4 destroyers. Probably would want more of a escort, but that's pretty nice. I mean, in worst case scenarios, we could actually press patrol boats into service, into active combat, but this works out for me. It does actually give us the forces we need. Okay, that's what What I might tell you to do is actually head to... I'm going to actually have them head to Tarawa. If they head to Tarawa, they could probably do better there. I think we'll gather at Tarawa. Yeah, Tarawa. 2 hexes per day. It's going to take a while, but it'll be worthwhile. Yep, so by the time the 144th arrives, the forces at Tarawa will be rested, Baker Island should have fallen, and Kiributai will be in the area. I mean, this is it. You take a look at what we have here at Kiributai, and that is currently 23 ships in Kiributai. I could actually up that by pushing additional destroyers in there, additional light cruisers in there. I'll do that next turn, as I can actually draw some fuel from here without taking it from Kiributai or affecting that operational point. What I might do is actually, let's double check here. So just save it as 62 here for the moment, so 18, just save that at 62. I just want to see if I move the other transports into the actual area. Right. Okay, disband these forces. Okay, moving up. So here's today's action report. Unfortunately, a lot of losses over Malaya, but we'll be able to manage that. But other than that, if it wasn't for the mistake made over Malaya, then this would have been a complete Japanese-dominated turn, which it really is. As far as I can tell, obviously I don't know what he's got hidden up his sleeve, but things are definitely looking pretty good. Right, the Osaka Maru. Now, these are freaking worth their weight in gold. I definitely do like these AMCs a lot more than I initially did. Their true values are definitely to be appreciated. So let's see here. I could transfer in 2 additional light, destroyers, or I could actually transfer in 2 light cruisers. I'm probably going to lean towards... I don't know, let's see. Considering your speed isn't too great... You do bring additional guns to bear, but you don't bring the AA. I think, wow, you're actually really good. I see Bari, and you actually do kind of a decent amount of torpedoes. I think we'll leave these 2 light cruisers here, but I might take even the 2 destroyers. Or do we take the 2 destroyers? Because I could leave the 2 destroyers here, as well as the 2 light cruisers, and that could actually be a defensive force of KYJ. It's not the strongest, but it's certainly something. Or do I take the additional destroyers, because at the end of the day, numbers are numbers. I'm going to take the 2 destroyers. The actual cruisers in Vienna could remain in place to... Right, so what I'm going to do here then... Let's see what happens. Flash at sea. Yeah, so that eliminates their movement capabilities this turn. So we can't do that. So what we'll do then is go back, load that turn, so we can't do that. There we go. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's it. Exactly, we'll learn from it so it won't happen again. Right, there we go. So what I'm actually going to do, because I am a little bit sick at the moment, so I just need a bit of time just to sort of like get rid of the sniffles, is we're going to leave it off here for today. But we have seen a lot of action, we have a lot going for us here. Yes, we lost a lot of bombers, but the fact is we have the means and ability to recover here pretty quickly. We'll have additional bombers online next turn, we have additional naval bombers, and even additional armoured bombers that we could actually throw here at Singapore. I think what we'll do here then is probably run another 50 A6M20 raid, maybe, give or take how many we could throw here. Could probably throw 1 full squadron on sweep of A6M20s. Probably hold the Oscars in maybe reserve, allow them to repair sometime, and then obviously probably 1 more turn after this. So I'd say on the 27th we'll bomb Singapore. Or we'll debate it. I think we'll debate it. I do not understand what that means there, John Murphy, but cool. Right, so until next time, thank you so very much there, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I do so hope you've enjoyed this. It's been a bit of a downer, as far as it goes, obviously due to the losses here, but that's fine, we can recover from that. So until next time, thank you and goodbye. Probably continue tomorrow, so goodbye for now.